Forsaken is an asymmetrical horror game on Roblox that has been popping off recently. At first, I thought it was another slop game like Grow a Garden and the other front page games. But one amnesiac rear video later, and I've become the average Forsaken glazer and decided to give the game a try. So yeah, I died a lot, but overall, the game is fun and enjoyable. For those who don't know, players in Forsaken are split into two teams, survivors and killers. The goal of the survivors is to fix generators around the map to lower the remaining time in a round and run away from killers. The goal of the killers is to, well, kill all the survivors. When you start the game, you get 3 survivors and 1 killer for you to use, the survivors being Noob, Elliot and Shedletsky. And as for the killer, you get to play as Jason Voorhees from hit game Multiversus. Regardless of what role you're playing, you have abilities to aid you in your game. For example, Tav can nail a pipe bomb to the killers with same-day shipping, and Cool Kid uses performance-enhancing drugs to rush at survivors at super speed. Now that we've talked about how the game works, it's time to talk about how it plays. This video will mainly focus on Noob, although there will be a small segment on the other characters, starting with Shedletsky. Shedletsky is one of the 3 starter survivors in the game. His role in the team is a stunner. He uses his sword to hit the killer to buy time for himself or his teammates to escape the killer, and a chicken to heal himself when injured. There's just a slight problem with his ability. Yeah, miss your slash, you or the person you tried to protect are as good as dead, and even if you do hit the slash, some killers can just catch right back up in seconds. Even so, Shedletsky is a pretty decent survivor with abilities to help both them and their team. Plus, Shedletsky are not usually targeted by the killer, so it makes a pretty good character to play the game as. The same can't be said about. Elliot is another starter survivor in Forsaken. Their role in the team is a support, being the most reliable healer in the game. Their pizza throws can save a survivor that's being chased by healing them, as well as an ability to more reliably get away from a killer by getting speed 3 for a few seconds. But, you see, playing Elliot is like slapping a big target on your back, as killers love to target Elliot, especially newer Elliots, because they will either be a free kill or the bane of your existence. Now, I don't know much about playing Elliot, but they are really hard to use effectively for your team, because I miss most of my pizzas, causing the death of my teammates who tried to pick them up. But I'm eternally grateful for anyone that plays Elliot, because it's really discouraging to play Elliot and die 10 seconds into the match. And now it's time for the main subject of the video, Noob. Noob is the last of the 3 free survivors in Forsaken you can play as. Their role in the team is a survivalist, which means they are in chases. Their colas and slate skin potions are great at buying time for themselves or making distance in a chase, as the cola gives speed 1 for 10 seconds and the slate skin potion gives overheal and a 3-second speed boost at the end, which means you can regen stamina without taking damage. They even have the ability to hide themselves using Ghost Burger, which is a niche ability that's not often useful. Now, you might think that he's very broken, especially since he can essentially be untouchable for killers when using his abilities, and you'd be right. However, that's only in scenarios that allow you to use your abilities, because without them, you can only rely on your own capabilities to loop the killer. Now, timing your abilities is one of the biggest challenges when using Noob. Although they have relatively low startup times, you slow down temporarily to use them. Meaning, in a chase, there's little to no time to use your colas to escape, but that might just be a skill issue on my part. On a second note, I feel like Slate Skin is the more reliable option for Noob, because it is less punishing to get hit when drinking a Slate Skin than a cola. Now, noobs are great at their job, surviving the killers, because the first last man standing I won just so happened to be with Noob. I mean, I looped this poor man for a whole minute while taking minimal damage. I feel bad for destroying him, he never even stood a chance. Just ignore the fact that I got targeted by him next round, that's just a completely unnecessary detail that isn't important at all. Noob's playstyle is pretty simple. When you first spawn in, look for items, preferably colas, and then do generators around the map to lower the time for the rest of the team, chill out for most of the match after fixing all the gens, maybe use a few abilities for bonus money and XP, use slate skin at the last 7 to 8 seconds of the match for more money, loop killers if they see and chase you, and winning is near guaranteed. It's perfect. There's no way this could go wrong. So yeah, a lot can go wrong, like playing against any killer that is not John Doe. I mean, this cool kid could have killed me last second if I used slate skin even a second later, and did you notice how many clips of me winning are on last man standings? Yeah, that's because noobs are too good in LMS to keep alive. Their ghost burger can hide the aura reveal at the start of LMS if you time it right, which buys valuable time for a cola if there is distance between you and the killer. And speaking of the cola, Cool Kid and Jason only need a few more seconds than normal to catch up. Don't get me wrong, that's definitely good. But it chops down cola's effectiveness in gaining distance and or stamina regen by a ton. And don't get me started on 1x's on LMS, their speed 1 means they catch up to you compared to you gaining distance from them, and their entanglement counters slate skin cancelling by giving you helpless for enough time that you can't break out of it manually, and can naturally combo into a close-range mass infection for a near-instant slate skin break, and it even gives them speed 2 for a bit after landing entanglement. However, this does not mean Noob is bad, it just means he is specialized in chases and LMS. But there are counters to them, as any good game should be. He is also a lot better than fellow survivalist N7 during chases, as his only out is the clone, compared to the 2 extremely consistent utilities that Noob has. Now, most people call noobs selfish and give no benefits to the rest of the team, and they would be right. As a noob, you don't play for the team. You are the ultimate one-man army, you can run for eons and not be caught. You don't even need to be focused on gimmicks like stuns to impede the killer in their path. You can allow killers to be in striking range and not be afraid, because you know, the moment you use those items in your conveniently infinite-sized pocket, those killers would understand that. They never even stood a chance. But on a more serious note, do give medkits and maybe colas to teammates in need, because that's basically the only way to contribute as a survivalist other than doing the generators instantly after a round starts, or attracting aggro away from the team. And that about sums up my experience with Forsaken for the time being. At the time of writing this script, I have roughly 4 hours of playtime, and I might play more in the future when I'm not busy, but playing this game was a blast even if it's a bit hard to learn due to a large skill gap between me and some of the people I played with. But yeah, this will be it for the time being. Video is expected to be finished by July. And I'd love to see y'all next time.